You know what's strange? Most people think school is about grades, tests, and deadlines. But the truth is, that's only 7% of it. The other 93%, the part that actually decides whether you enjoy school, manage stress, or even stay motivated, is made up of small habits and invisible life lessons that no teacher ever explains. Things like, how to actually stay calm when everything's due at once, how to stop comparing yourself to your classmates. Or how to keep your confidence when you fail an exam that if school feels overwhelming. Or if you're constantly stuck between, I'll start tomorrow, and I'm so behind, this video might fix most of that. Because today, we're breaking down 10 simple life lessons that can fix about 93% of your school problems. They won't just help you study better, they'll help you feel better. And when that happens, everything else starts to make sense. Let's start with the first one. 1. Don't chase motivation. Build systems. Motivation is unreliable. It's that friend who shows up once a week and ghosts you the next. If you wait to feel ready, you'll always be behind. Instead, build systems. Simple routines that work even when you don't feel like it. For example, have a fixed start ritual. Maybe open your notebook, play the same study playlist, and do 5 minutes of light review. You don't need a 3-hour plan. You just need a 3-minute trigger. Once you start, your brain naturally keeps going. The hardest part is just starting. Short pause, so stop waiting for motivation. Make the system do the work for you. 2. Your notes don't need to look pretty, they need to work. We love aesthetic notes, color pens, perfect margins, clean fonts. But here's the thing, real learning is messy. Your brain remembers confusion, not decoration. If your notes look chaotic but help you recall faster, you're winning. Don't waste hours rewriting something that was already useful. Remember, school rewards understanding, not handwriting. 3. Ask dumb questions early, it saves you later. Everyone's scared of asking questions that sound too basic. But the irony? The ones who ask those questions early are the ones who truly understand later. When you stay silent, you delay your progress. When you ask, you collapse weeks of confusion into minutes of clarity. I used to nod along in class pretending I got it, then panic during exams. Now I ask, even if it feels awkward, and every time, I realize half the class had the same question. So if you're unsure, ask. Early embarrassment is better than late regret. 4. Grades measure performance, not potential. A bad grade doesn't mean you're dumb. It means you didn't perform well in one specific system. That's all. Think of it like this. Grades are a snapshot, not your story. Einstein failed his early exams, but what separated him wasn't instant genius. It was persistence and curiosity. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me, try asking, what's missing in my approach. That shift turns self-criticism into problem-solving. 5. Manage your energy, not just your time. Time management is useless if your energy is gone. You can schedule 6 hours of study, but if your brain's fried, it's like driving with no fuel. Track when your focus peaks, morning, afternoon, or night, and do your hardest tasks there. Save low-energy tasks, like organizing or reviewing, for later. Your success depends less on how long you work, and more on when you work best. 6. Friends shape 80% of your habits. If you hang out with people who constantly complain, you'll start to believe life is unfair. But if your circle discusses progress, ideas, or even small wins, you rise naturally. You don't have to cut people off. Just choose proximity wisely. Sometimes, the simplest study hack isn't another app, it's sitting next to someone who actually wants to learn. Environment beats willpower every time. 7. Learn to rest without guilt. Resting doesn't make you lazy. It makes you sustainable. If you never pause, you don't grow stronger, you burn out. Take small intentional breaks, walk, stretch, or sit quietly, not scrolling, not multitasking, just resting. When you return, you'll focus faster and feel lighter. Think of rest as part of the process, not the reward after it. 8. Focus on progress, not perfection. Perfectionism looks noble, but it's a trap. It tells you, if it's not perfect, it's not worth doing. But in reality, progress only happens when you do imperfect things consistently. Write that one messy paragraph, solve that one problem wrong, try, fail, adjust, repeat. That's how learning works, because school is not a performance, it's practice for life. 9. You're competing with your past, not other people. Comparison kills focus. The moment you start watching others, you stop noticing your own progress. Remember, your timeline is not theirs. Maybe someone got full marks this time. Good for them. Ask yourself, am I doing better than I did last month? That's the only race that matters. Once you compete with your past instead of your peers, school becomes lighter, and strangely, more enjoyable. 10. Every skill is learnable. If you're patient enough, nobody's born good at math, essays, or presentations. Everyone's bad at first, but the difference between bad and good is just consistency over time. If you practice a little every day, not once a month and panic, improvement is guaranteed. Patience isn't just waiting. It's trusting that small steps add up. So stop saying, I'm not good at this. Start saying, I'm not good at this yet. Now, a quick warning, these lessons only work if you apply them gradually. Don't try to fix everything in a week. If you try to overhaul your life all at once, your brain fights back. Instead, pick 1 or 2 lessons, maybe manage energy, and build systems. Focus on those for a week. Once they become habits, move to the next. Slow progress is still progress, and the slower it starts, the longer it lasts. Let's recap. Point 1. Build systems, not motivation. Point 2. Notes should work, not look pretty. Point 3. Ask questions early. Point 4. Grades aren't your potential. Point 5. Manage energy, not just time. Point 6. Choose friends who push you forward. Point 7. Rest without guilt. Point 8. Progress beats perfection. Point 9. Compete with your past, not others. Point 10. Everything is learnable, if you're patient. If you start living even half of these, you'll notice school feels less like survival, and more like growth. At the end of the day, school isn't just about passing tests, it's about learning how to live, how to think, and how to keep going when things don't make sense, and that's the part no textbook teaches. You teach it to yourself. So start today, apply one small lesson, then another. That's how 93% of your school problems start to disappear. If this video helped, take a moment, hit like, and subscribe, not for the algorithm, but to remind yourself, learning about life is part of education, and if you want more videos like this, I'll see you in the next one. Because fixing your school life, it starts with fixing the lessons no one ever taught you.